Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to some more StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it is time to play as Zerg vs Terran and we're currently playing on Frost LE. Now, I know what some of you are immediately thinking, that Lowko go back to like Heart of the Swarm or like Wings of Liberty whenever this map was played, but no! In the last week, they added a couple of the old maps back into the current map pool and replaced some of the really bad maps with ones that are much better. Frost LE is one of those maps that is at the very top of my absolute favorite lists. There are a couple maps that I really enjoyed playing, such as, for example, Overgrowth, such as Daybreak LE, such as Frost LE, and those were some of the most balanced maps that were ever available in StarCraft 2. And the nice thing is that they've replaced some of the terrible maps, such as like Cohort Carnage Knockout and, you know, terrible maps like those, and replaced them with oldies but goldies. So today we're gonna be playing as Zerg vs Terran. I'm gonna have to admit that I haven't played too many games on this map just yet right now, like in the last week. However, I played hundreds and hundreds on this map over the course of time. This was one of the most popular maps in StarCraft 2 for those of you unfamiliar with the map for a very long time. And that is because it is extremely balanced as far as like racial distribution goes. Like basically all of the races have a good chance at winning. It makes for interesting games wherever your opponent spawns, and it makes for just genuine good gameplay, macro focused gameplay. Very little cheese. Oftentimes on this map, obviously, you can still pull off certain types of aggressions, but in general, it looks like this is one of those maps that is gonna be here to stay at least for a season or two. And I'm really excited about that because, well, this one's awesome. But anyways, enough raving about the map. Let's talk Zerg vs Terran. So on this map, most people used to play Mutaling Bane versus Terran. Just used to be the standard strategy, just because there are quite a couple of droppable locations, and also that was sort of the meta in Heart of the Swarm and also in Wings of Liberty for the longest time. However, I want to see how it goes if you play Roach Ravager on this map instead. Obviously, that's the style that I am most comfortable with right now. Ravagers obviously weren't around back in those days, so I don't really know exactly how good this is gonna work out, but at the very least, if we lose this one, right, we'll learn together. Now, I am already flying around, obviously, with my Overlords, trying to figure out when my opponent has spawned. I'm secretly hoping that he did spawn cross-position, which is far superior for me. And far superior for Zerg in every area of the map, really. But we're obviously trying to get a longest distance for my opponent to travel from his base to my base, so I have more time to prepare here. For that reason, because it's a big map as well, I'm gonna go straight into 4 queens, rather than the 3 queen shenanigans that I have been up to as of late. But it looks like, indeed, he is cross. So that's really nice for me. We'll have to position my Overlords, so we get maximum vision here. But this is good. This is very good. Now, the only downside to him spawning in the cross pattern is that I don't really know, you know, what he's really going for until he shows me something. So right now I know obviously that he's opening up with at least a Reaper here, at least like relatively early on into the game, but I don't really know very much more besides that. Probably though, he's just gonna be expanded after this. We'll start scouting once link speed finishes up, and we'll go for a quick third here. Just because, well, he knows that it's cross position, I know that it's cross position. Big chance that we both are fully aware that we're not really gonna be capable of doing very much early game aggression. And there's a big chance that he is just, you know, playing macro-focused styles himself right now as well. Now, there's in the middle of the map, there's 2 watchtowers. So I do have to make sure that we take control of those, at least for a majority of the time. They do provide a lot of vision. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna be taking control of those as soon as possible. Still adding on more links here, just because Hellion aggression is really good on this map. And I'll be adding on my Roach Warren here as well. So good. Good. Obviously following it up with workers again. Gonna saturate this gas. Gonna go for the double gas guys for in the natural, and we'll start taking up towards the lair here while checking out what my opponent is going for this. So there is indeed a whole bunch of Hellions out already. I'm gonna try and bait him out of his base now. I made quite a substantial amount of links, so I may as well give this a try. Shouldn't be running those across though. But I'm gonna try and see if I can bait him out and get into his natural by running around here. There's a lot of alleyways on this map that allow you to be rather aggressive with Zerg, something you weren't really able to in a lot of other maps in earlier times. Gonna be getting those gases here as well. And saturate these. So far so good though. He's not really moving out here. There is a Liberator flying across the map, so we'll go for some evos. Oh no. Okay, we're running those away. Look, this is the bait that I was talking about. Now we run the lings in. So I got 5 queens, or 4 queens, obviously. That's great. In particular, because he just apparently wasn't sitting in the bunker with his links, or with his units. This is really nice for us. Well, sadly, you didn't need to micro much of those, but we're doing a lot of damage here. Oh, there's an SCV in there. Okay. Where are you gonna go, sir? And he's actually landed this expansion right now. This is good. That bait actually worked out really nicely in our favor. Now, you may very well go for a bit of shenanigans over here. Always need to have an overlord over there, just to make proper use of the situation. Okay, still making workers, by the way. And at this point, I'm starting to feel really confident in the abilities here. He's still not landed that expansion. Oh, man. Oh, no way. Didn't mean to lose that. Where's my third queen at, anyway? Oh, there you are. Okay, I'm gonna start adding on some roaches now. Because I don't exactly know what my opponent is planning on doing. Although he seems to just go ahead and land the base again, right? This is unfortunate so far. Sadly, we didn't quite get the lethal on that Liberator. No big deal. We still have a huge eco lead here anyway. I'm gonna start morphing in the Ravagers. Now, I gotta be careful, obviously. If I'm floating this many minerals and gas, there's a big chance that I will accidentally start falling behind. So it's time for me to start getting the extra gases, to start focusing on those queen injects a lot more. And to potentially get the fort base rocks down. I'll need to at least take out this creep tumor. And this one as well, apparently. Great positioning, Lowko. Really impressive. But that's alright. +1 attack did just finish up. +1 armor did as well. I don't know if it's time for me to start moving here yet. I wasn't really having the sickest army here, but... I mean, I guess we can as well try. We may as well try, right? No real reason in not doing it. Oh man, that thing is actually unreachable for me. Are you for real? I can't see it. Wow, that's insane. I did not know that was the case. That may very well be you know, a bug that is not intended here, because this obviously is not supposed to be something you can't hit. Right now though, he seems to not be looking at it. Oh, lucky me. Okay. So I'm gonna have a peek here whether or not he made that third base. We're gonna start transitioning towards the hive ourselves. Don't know yet what kind of composition I'm looking for in the late game here, but we'll take control of those watchtowers, pick off whatever units we find here. And, well, if he is planning on moving in here without any kind of medevacs, this should be a really easy cleanup. And he immediately decides to leave the game. Alrighty, so here we are in the replay of the match that I just played. Now, there are some strategies that I'm used to do a lot back in the day that apparently still work out really nicely. Oftentimes, when you are Zerg, you're gonna be making a clump of Zerglings right when link speed finishes up. And you make that group of Zerglings to deal with the Hellion aggression. But in this particular case, and what I used to do a lot in Zerg vs Terran, is that I overmake them, okay? I overmade them, knowing that my opponent is gonna be moving out when he has 4 or 6 of those. So I got a bunch of Zerglings here. I'm basically just waiting for him to move out with him. However, I got a second group of Zerglings just sitting right next to his base. You gotta keep in mind, right now he's moving out here. He is not aware of either of those clumps of Zerglings. But he knows that there are, he knows that there is a group of Zerglings on the map here somewhere. And I'm putting those links that I've got here right at his little travel path here. So he is fully aware of one of the clumps of Zerglings at the very least, but he's probably also assuming that those are the only links that I've got. Now, oftentimes when they do these sort of builds, they leave the door wide open. Like in this particular case, I think he actually meant to wall off, but he didn't do it properly. I run these links home, I deal with the aggression, but here my other Zerglings go in. And yeah, there's just simply a gap right there. Oftentimes though, you manage to get in other ways as well. But at this point, a whole bunch of Zerglings end up doing a whole bunch of damage. So I actually probably don't do as much as I could have, but at the very least I cost him a ton of mining time. In the meantime, he also is working he's killing some of my workers, which I guess sort of evens up the score. But you gotta keep in mind, the lost mining time here, as well as just the lost time that he needs to take to rebuild all of these depots and all of these buildings and whatnot, is incredibly in my favor. Now, this little position here with the Liberator seemed a little wonky. There was no way I could actually reach that, and since I lost the Overlord that I had positioned there, I actually was a little bit worried, or actually I didn't move it over, I guess, properly. I was actually a little bit worried that I wasn't going to be able to kill that one at least anytime soon. There's also apparently a little bit of shenanigans here where if you put the Spore Crawler at the very edge, it doesn't actually hit this Liberator, which is also a little bit ridiculous. So there may have to be made some adjustments to the map as we know it right now. Normally if you put it at the very edge, or at least like behind your mineral line, you should be in an okay spot. But obviously on this map, it may just mean you have to put a Creep Tumor there, just for the time being. And now in the end, after doing the economy damage that we already noticed, he made a starport, he started the reactor on it, but he also decided to move out before he had any kind of medevacs out. And I think that is because he just sort of felt the pressure. Like, he may have even had medevacs out. Let's actually speed up the game here just a little bit. Now, he decides to start moving here before he really has like a really solid army, and that's just because he didn't want to, you know, let me sit back for all of the time that he already gave me. He was hoping to catch me off guard. He probably meant to reinforce here at the watchtower for the foreseeable future, but we just simply had too much stuff after the Zergling damage. You know, basically withhold a lot of the mining time, or withheld it rather. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this game. If you haven't already, do make sure you hit that like button. If you would like to see more, however, also make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get a notification as soon as I upload more. And other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, okay? And I'll see you in the next one. Boom!